All right, it's Lucas back once again for the live wire. This time I've got Rob from Enter Shikari, an interview I'm very, very excited for. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good, thank you. Yeah, it's 9:30 a.m. here. What time is it with you?
We've just cracked off to 6:30 on a Friday night, so I'm spending my
Six, uh,
Friday night
well,
talking to one of the favorite drummers of one of my favorite bands ever. So I'm very excited.
thank
Could
you
not be
for
living life any
spending your Friday evening with me instead of down the pub.
That's all good. It's worth it, honestly. It's worth it. We're gonna get some stuff in about the tour that's gonna be upcoming. You've just guys have just dropped a surprise album, which I'm really excited for. But I want to say it's really cool to have Shikari back on the channel. I had Rao at Knotfest last year, and I got to talk to him for a little bit. So it's cool to sort of have you here and being able to chat about the record. What's been going on since Knotfest? What have you guys been up to?
Oh my God, when was Knotfest? Was that last summer?
That was last, yes,
Oh,
that was
well,
March last year.
la-
So about 12 months ago.
right, okay. Well, we released an album, and we've been doing I don't know what we've done, a shitload of touring, I guess. So a lot of the touring last year was kind of broken up and interspersed with the recording of this of the album. That has been sort of a bit of a strange and abnormal, at least for us, way of sort of putting it together to be able to deliver it as we wanted it. And yeah, and so in most recent times, the everything, all of our focus has been on the release of the album. We had a few little shows to sort of celebrate its release and to test out the some of the new tracks live. It went down very well. Um, Other than that, I've been putting up a greenhouse on my vegetable garden.
Very good. Yeah. So obviously talking then on the record, right? So this obviously surprise drop literally out of nowhere. How did you guys keep the recording of this such a secret? Because I feel like I'm across a lot of the Shikari news and I hadn't heard a peep until I think it was April 10th when it dropped.
Well, it was tough. To be honest, I was surprised that we managed to get away with it without anyone saying anything. Um, it's always really hard. So the we actually delivered the album to go to the vinyl pressing. Vinyl pressing takes so long. You need a very long lead up time for it. So we actually had to deliver it before Christmas, December, um, for them to have time to do the vinyl. And it's like sitting on it for that long, for months until you can say anything is tough work. But it's exciting thinking, oh,
Mm.
this thing's about to drop that's going to get a lot of people very excited, but we're not allowed to talk about it. No one knows about it. For the first rule is you can't talk about it. Um, and I think it gets to a point where you're sort of leading up to the album where our team around us, obviously they have to send it out to people. So when it does drop, you get the people like reviews and so on and so forth. And so there were little sort of fires or sparks here and there throughout the dark corners of the internet that was sort of chatting about it. And I think at one point the artwork for it leaked, or no, there was a there was a record shop in the UK somewhere where they accidentally put the poster up a week early on their windows. So I think there was immediately a call saying, "Take that down now." Things like that, little fires here and there that are the team that worked with us did a great job of sort of putting out and keeping it all hush hush. Um, until the night, it was about 3 hours before it released, because it released at midnight, and we were playing a small show up in Manchester, and Rao at the very end of the set, the last thing he said is, "Lose Yourself, new album released tonight." And that was it. Sort of like, and it was a very small venue packed with like absolute core fans, and they were all like, "Oh my God," so they're losing their shit about it. So yeah, that was fun.
That's cool. Were you worried about the news leaking through the vinyl pressings? Like, because that would have had to have been stressful.
No, it's funnily enough, that doesn't that that's never how it happens. It's normally taken um, online. I don't want to say who normally there's
Oh,
one
sorry,
area there's one
I don't
area
mean
of the
leak.
world that it normally leaks from, and so we've been
Yeah.
very careful sending it to them. I'm not
No,
going to say where, but
I meant in the sense of it like pressing back in
yeah,
December and then not coming
yeah,
out for
yeah.
4 months. Like I mean the news, not necessarily the record itself, but like the news of the record, because
Oh, I see. Yeah,
someone in that
yeah.
vinyl plant could have just been like, "Hey, we got a Shikari record. What the fuck is this?" And that
Well,
would have stressed me out.
I guess it's if they did that, then they wouldn't get very many repeat customers. So, that I think they are sensible enough that they need to be very careful with talking about what exactly they're pressing.
Yeah. I want to kind of hit on the record a bit too, because like listening to it, I love the record. I think it's fantastic. And I think out of such a diverse sound of music you guys have made over the last, 15, 20 years almost, this is some of the strongest work I think you guys have put out. It almost feels like a double album with A Kiss for the Whole World. Like there was just sort of similar like songs and like not songs, but like vibes that I was getting from some of those songs that I was getting on this record. Was this ever sort of intended to be that? Because it even come down to the artwork too, of like obviously red and blue and the desolation of the flower and the forest and the ascension on the new record. Is there any connective tissue between the records?
I think you've just made a load of connections that I never realized were there. So, so no, it wasn't intentional, I don't think, but it's maybe sort of subconsciously.
Yeah.
Um, that's a cool idea and not really something we a lot of the music that we were that's on this latest album we have been working on for years. And the recording of it was quite, like I mentioned before, I was broken up quite a lot. We do sort of little chunks of recording, like a couple of weeks here and a couple of weeks there, and then there'd be long periods where we didn't touch it, and we'd go away, do some touring, or there's sort of life things were happening, and then we'd come back to it, and we almost sort of forgot what we had been working on, and so we had to be reintroduced back to the music that we had been writing each time and sort of refresh our feelings around it. And I do remember the thoughts of every time we come back to it, like, oh, this is great, this is really good, which is nice hearing it with fresh ears. um and it
Yeah, I was
actually
going to
it
say
turned out,
a fresh perspective would be interesting on that too, for sure.
yeah, and it turned out to be a darker, heavier album than we were expecting. We never went into it thinking with the aim to write and record a heavier or darker album, either thematically or musically. It just that's the way it kind of just developed organically, I think. Um, and I suppose now we're quite happy or now, it's our eighth album, so I feel like we've found
Groove.
our groove. Yes, that's thank you. um, and
Early
so
morning, I get it.
yeah, and so maybe that's why sort of there were some links or similarities to the last one. um, and yeah, but honestly, it wasn't. I mean, some of the music on it was written before the Kiss for the Whole World album was.
Yeah.
So there's sort of chronologically there's a lot of crossover between the two, I think. Um
Yeah. And to me, that
yeah.
makes sense as someone who's listened to both records and loves both albums. Like you can hear the connection in that way. I just wasn't sure if there was like an intentional link where sort of Kiss was like the first chapter and then Lose Yourself was sort of the last chapter. You know what I mean?
No, well, not consciously, but maybe we missed a trick there and we should have.
No, all good. Speaking on the heaviness too, like I think something I love about the band is that you guys like I know this album obviously probably didn't go in with the intention of being heavy and it sort of became that way, but I find that you guys sort of have this unique way of writing where you guys write to the world we're living in. And that has been something that the band has unapologetically done now for 20 years. The key example, I think, is The Spark. Like The Spark, I know that that album, you guys went into it very angry and you made something that was inspiring. So I can hear that anger in a way, but it's manifested in a way that hasn't really been heard on a Shikari album before, which I think is interesting with the promotion tactic of not releasing anything and just going, here's a complete piece of work, take it in.
Yeah. There are so many ways to skin a cat, but this the decision to release this album as a whole, I think was the right one, because it when you feed people singles before an album, it really sort of it almost gives people favorites, or gives certain songs an unfair advantage in that the listener has the time to get to know them before they get the rest of the album. Whereas this is delivered as one piece of work. This is, start to finish. The listener is forced to listen to the album in its entirety and take each part of it, and on its own sort of merit. And I think it's been sort of very, very successful with that. And yeah, it was well,
I I think it's been done
it's cool
really
because it's
sorry.
interesting, like without forcing certain songs down people's throats. You people can get to make up their own minds what their favorite song is, or get to make their own relationships more with it. I mean, we recorded a music video for one of them. And that's purely because, from a promotional perspective, it's good to have a focus track, they call it, for radio and so on. But as for the just the giving our fans the album in its entirety as one piece, it also meant that we really enjoy threading the songs together. So a lot of the songs will merge into each other, and for the whole album to feel like it flows as one big creative piece. There's been something that we've done for well, since we started really, but sort of having the album presented that way meant that we could really sort of go into it like that and think about its its running order in a lot more depth, and it's sort of yeah. So it's the first time we've ever done it without releasing singles ahead of the album, and it was. I'm glad we did it. It was great. And you know what? We didn't have that fucking the headache of the pre-sales of the pre-sale, like please buy the album, buy the album, buy the album, so we can try and get a number one. We got a number one with the last one, and we're like, okay, good. We feel like we got that under our belts. Now we can just sort of relax, and now it's not about the accolades or whatever. Now it's just purely about the music.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, we only got a couple of minutes left, so I want to try and smash through a couple of questions. But like, I love, again, I think this record is better for the way it's been promoted, in that it has had no promotion. It's just surprise. Here's some songs, listen to them. I I'm a big fan of concept records and listening to albums as a complete piece of work to tell a story, and that's what this does. So I appreciate that I was able to take this one in that way.
Awesome.
You've guys got the tour coming up. You guys have got a whole bunch of touring on the way. You've got the Australian tour coming up with Grandson. This will be your fourth time back in 5 years to Australia. Is there something just exciting about the Australian audiences that you love to come back every time and just do this country?
Well, they seem to like us. It's,
Well, I
I
can tell
mean,
you I love you. I've been at every show, and like
oh, awesome.
I fucking love this band, man. And like if you guys keep coming back, I'll be there.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, well, like we love Australia. It feels like, considering that it's the complete other side of the world, it feels like our home away from home. I mean, I suppose the fact that English is spoken kind of helps helps one feel slightly more at home, at ease in a foreign country. It also helps that we get to go to your summer whilst it's the middle of winter for us. Although saying that, now we're just coming into summer ourselves, and while you guys are going into autumn. So is it still warm there?
Uh,
Or-
So right now it's cold in Australia and it's about 15 degrees. So
Ah,
like
damn it.
that's
Okay, I'm getting the doing it at the wrong time of year here. That's annoying. So it's not shorts and t-shirt weather then. Okay.
not shorts and t-shirt weather. Listen, I'm wearing the long sleeve tonight because like it's a Queensland winter here and that's 15 degrees and that's freezing.
Right.
So
Okay. Okay, well that's good to know. 15's not too bad. I can deal with 15.
15's not bad. I will say though, like the as much as I love to have fact that you guys have got grandson coming out because I did miss him last time he was here. I am super jealous of the European tour because you guys are going to have holding absence on that and the Callous Boys who I think the Callous Boys did the best record of last year. So like, is it cool to kind of be going out and kind of having these sort of big heavy hitter bands want to come and tour with you guys like that?
Yeah, the Callous Cowboys actually, I think we first heard of because our management sent over a video of them playing one of our tracks live.
Yes,
We're like,
that's a
oh,
great
okay, this is
video.
cool. Yeah, this is fun. Awesome. So they're clearly like fans of us and we're really up for it. Um, and yeah, holding absence we've known for many years, and we're friends with them. It's sort of yeah, it just feels like a good solid. So essentially, what happens with lineups is that either our booking agent or our management come to us and say, you know, these are the people that are sort of touring around at the minute and the good options for it. What do you guys think? And we either say yay or nay. And yeah, but obviously both with these both bands, we were like, yeah, awesome, wicked, sounds great. Really looking forward to them. Um, and from everything that we hear about the Callous Boys, is they're lovely people to tour with. So that you know that honestly, when when doing a tour with a band, it's more important that you get on with the people than you like their music. So
For sure.
to for us to you know have already known the holding absence and for by all accounts the Callous Boys being nice people. I think that's going to go a long way. And then they got great music to boot. So, you know, we're going to be able to sort of watch them every night and get to know them more intimately. And it should be a good
Yeah.
tour.
But fingers crossed there's some video that drops of you guys and Boys doing Sorry You're Not a Winner live together. That would be crazy. They finally get to
we'll,
live the promise.
we'll see. We'll see.
Hell yeah. Well, listen, we'll wrap it up there for now. But again, you guys are going to be in Australia. You got the new record. You guys have got Japan, United States, and Europe all coming up, all going to be massive shows. Again, thank you for the way you've released this record. Thank you for how just fucking great it is. And I can't wait
Thank
to
you.
have you guys come back and see you guys again for the sixth time, I think it is this tour will be. So
Awesome.
yeah,
Yeah,
really
well,
excited.
we'll see you next week.